Whenever you're ready.
My dad is an inspiration to me. He has inspired me to be the best person that I can be. Among the many things that I cherish from my childhood is the time that he spent attending sporting events, making time to play catch with me, using the Barrett's car as a backstop, shooting countless baskets in the front yard, and always encouraging me to shoot on any videotape that he took. My dad inspires me by his dedication to his callings and for the example that he sets in being Christ-like to others, helping others at any time that others are in need. I love how my dad has unconditional love towards me. I can remember a time when I was lighting weeds on fire in the feedlot and the fire got away from me. I thought that I had put it out, and the next morning my dad patiently drove me back to the feedlot to discover that there were multiple fire engines that had come to put out a fire that I had failed to put out the day before. He did not lose his temper. With love and compassion, he taught me a lesson about fire, but also about how to deal with unfortunate circumstances with peace and calm. I love my dad. He inspires me to be better, and I'm grateful to be his son.
We definitely, by far, have the most studliest grandpa in the world. You know, I'll wake up and I'll see him in my backyard, just like full on doing the rope and working out. And I wish I had that dedication to stay healthy and physically fit.
One of my favorite things about Grandpa is playing card games with him.
One of my other favorite memories of Grandpa, all growing up, is watching him how he treated Grandma. He treated her so well, and I envied him all my life for that.
There's a lot of things that I could say about Dad, and all good. He's the most humble man you'll ever meet. He's the most generous man that you'll ever meet, and he does not ever take the last bite of anything because he wants to make sure he leaves some for everyone else. And so kind and patient. I remember when I was first married, learning how to water ski, and he would go around and around and around over and over and over again until I finally got up. And that just shows patience. And I appreciate the fact that he loves the gospel so much and is committed to the gospel and to our mother, who we love so much. And I love you, Darren. I think you're so great. What a great, generous, kind man.
Grandpa always took really good care of Grandma and just made sure that she was comfortable and like that everything was fine. And I remember one time hearing about one of the things that he made for her was like a little end of bed frame so that the sheets wouldn't like flatten her feet in bed. And it was just so cute that he made a little frame for her feet, and I just thought that was so wonderful that he cared so much about Grandma, and I just really appreciate that.
I love how Dad will come and visit and we can have long talks together, and we both can open up and chat. I love watching Dad over the years and how good he was to Mom. He's always been a pure gentleman, a great father and a great husband, and a great father-in-law.
I love when Grandpa was with us at Great Wolf Lodge, even when he got floaties for us whenever we go to his pool, and I love him because he's my favorite grandpa, and I love when he came to Great Wolf Lodge and he was hanging out for me.
Yeah.
And it was one of the greatest days. Every day was the greatest day of Grandpa. even at this beach house, it was so fun with being with him. He even showed me a trick.
What trick?
I don't remember.
What was your favorite trip with Grandpa?
So, okay, I remember when we were really little, we went to Hawaii, and Grandpa was with us, and he came snorkeling with us, and it was so fun, and he was a way better swimmer than me, and it was just so fun to, like, be with him out in the water.
Also, recently he's come on trips with us to like New York and like the pageant, and he also went with us to Hawaii recently too, and it was really fun to have him around because he's also, I think someone already said, but he's really patient, and he just is loving and just loves to be around us even though we're really crazy. And it's really fun to have him on our trips though.
Okay, I remember as a kid seeing him water ski, and I just thought that was the most incredible thing because I couldn't water ski, but I was like, but he's a grandpa, and like he was water skiing, and I just thought that was so impressive. Grandpa's awesome.
There you go.
One of my favorite memories of Grandpa is he used to wrestle with me and Courtney at his house every time we visited. And he taught us ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream, and I've never forgot that since then.
My favorite thing about you, or something that I really admire, is how your determination to always to do good. No matter what situation you're in, you're always wanting to make the right choice, and it never seems to be a difficult decision for you, and that is something that I really admire about you, Grandpa. Love you.
I remember when I was little, I asked him to play Uno with me, and he said yeah, and he kept showing me his cards, asking me what color it was, and I was like, Grandpa, it's blue, it's green, and I was so confused and told him this isn't how we play Uno. And I went home and I asked my mom, and I was like, why does Grandpa keep showing me his cards on the colors? It's because he's colorblind. And that's the first time I learned he was colorblind. It made total sense.
Hi, Dad. I first came to your house and officially met you when I was 17 years old, 30 years ago. I'm sure you were wondering what your son was doing bringing home this 17-year-old girl from Idaho to spend a week at your house. From the very first day, I have always felt welcome by your kindness and your hospitality, and that was at a time in my life where I really needed a lot of kindness in my life. You'll never imagine what that meant to me. There's so many memories that I have of you and Mom from the road trips we took together, the four of us, from cruises where everybody snored but Steve as we were sharing a room, the times that I distracted Steve out on the farm that led to some minor disasters. There was tons of memories that I have. I have memories of you and Steve giving me a priesthood blessing when I was sick. I have memories of you taking my children to the park, going down the slide, and just having a great time with them and making them feel important and special. Taking the kids to ice cream. I have lots of memories of discovering new treats to fulfill your sweet tooth craving. And from that first dinner at your kitchen table over 30 years ago to our most recent dinner here at the beach, I have always felt your love and acceptance, and I am so proud to be your daughter. I love you, Dad.
So I have a lot of memories about working with Grandpa on the farm and in other places. I used to love to go out and ride in the pickup out on the farm and just be with my dad. It was so great. It was a great way to grow up. One time we were over at my grandma's house, and he asked me to go get the shovel out of the back of the pickup. And I went back to the back of the pickup, and I looked inside, and there was a beautiful orange bicycle in there for I think it was my 10th birthday. And I remember him smiling and laughing, and that was a gift that meant a lot to him to give to me, and that was a great memory. I also have great memories of Dad loving my mom and taking care of my mom, and he was always such a partner to my mom, and always let my mom know how much he loved her. He's a great example in every way.
This one time, Lindsay and I were playing with the piano phone in Grandpa and Grandma's living room, and Lindsay and I may or may not have dared each other to accidentally call 911, and the phone actually worked, and they called Grandpa, and all I remember was being so embarrassed, but Grandpa was super patient, and even though it was probably embarrassing for him too, like he didn't say anything after, and I just remember how like after that I like knew that Grandpa was like one of the most patient and gracious people in my life.
There's 2 or 3 things I remember about Dad, that Dad loves to tell the story, and also Grandma loved to tell these stories. One time I believe I was with Dad and we was on the farm, and the salesman came by to the farm, and he was either selling chemicals or fertilizer, and he had this big roll of pencils, these really nice pencils that you screw the lead out, and probably a couple bucks a piece I would imagine, and he had this wad, and he told Dad, he says, "Would you like one of these pens?" And Dad said, "Sure," and he grabbed the whole thing and took it and put it in his pickup. And it wasn't until a few hours later he decided, I think I was supposed to only take one of those pencils. And then another time that was really funny was there was a lane that was by the shop where Gaines Seafelt lived. And Gaines had some dogs that would chase Dad down the street there. And Dad kind of got annoyed with his dogs chasing them, so he thought, well, I'm just going to steer the dogs into the side of the, into the weeds there. And he did. And the dogs went over into the weeds, and they're just running around, and ting, and they hit this piece of metal and knocked him out, knocked the dog out. It's like doggone. So a few hours later, Dad's kind of feeling bad. He says, maybe I should call Gaines, and Grandma says, maybe you ought to. And Dad calls Gaines up, and he starts laughing. He couldn't tell him that he hit his dog. So I don't know whatever happened to that. But anyway, Dad always had some really, really, really funny stories that was just happened to be coincidental. Love you, Dad. Thanks for all the fun times, all the water skiing, all the examples you set for us. Love you very much.
Hey, say, I love you, Grandpa. You're the best.
I love you, Grandpa. You're the best.
Mwah.
Mwah.